Good afternoon, everyone. You are watching the Mayday Network. I'm Michelle Kinney. I'm here with Julie Roginski. And we wanted to hop on and talk just for a couple minutes about something that I found very disturbing. I think you did too, Julie. Pete Hegseth has invited his very sexist, very white nationalist, racist pastor who doesn't think women should have the right to vote. Invited him to the Pentagon yesterday to preach to the troops. Julie, do you remember a couple days ago I showed the white nationalist video? I'm going to show this again.
Yes, I think you should. So you understand.
To set this up. For some context, I made this in August of 2024. I threw some clips together of white Christian nationalist men railing on women. And Doug Wilson is one of them. He's a scary, scary guy. I'm going to go ahead and play this. Again, this was from August of 2024, and I made this for the Seneca Project when I was over there.
The reason why I have grown to despise democracy, everyone is allowed to vote.
Right.
Everyone. And just for the record, I think the 19th Amendment should be repealed. I think that because, well, first and foremost, because I'm a Christian, and that is the Christian position. Oh my gosh, you're saying that? Yes, that is the Christian position. By repealing the 19th Amendment, just for the record, it's not just trying to take away a female vote, but it's trying to say, no, there's a family vote. Right. There's a household. And it's like, well, where do women get their voice? Where women get their voice is from their father, from their husband. If they're not married, it's from their father. If they're not married and their father is dead, it's from their brother, it's from their uncle, it's the men in their lives that love them.
I've been accused of being sexist and misogynist, and for whoever's accused me of that, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. And fuck you, you feminist twats. When you're in your ego and your desire to gain power by still using your sexuality, you can't get ahead. You can only get ahead by either fucking more powerful men or suing more powerful men or shitting on more powerful men. You can't get more powerful independently. Imagine that. That's why they get desperate, feminists do, because they can't get ahead without either giving head or taking a head off in the court.
A lot of women want to be raped, and when I say raped, I mean like, that sounds bad when I say it like that, but there's like a lot of women that really want a guy to beat the shit out of them. But also they have to pretend, but part of it is they have to pretend like they don't.
When women were granted the right to vote, the nation had already accepted the lie that a nation is nothing more than a collection of individuals. And so the matter was framed this way: men as individuals can vote, so why cannot individual women do the same? We were so muddled, we thought we were giving the franchise to women when we were in fact taking it away from families.
People are like, that's so archaic. You're a Neanderthal. You're so, primitive and chauvinistic. You won't let women vote. Well, our society doesn't let 5-year-olds vote. We don't let children vote, and it's not just because of competency, because that would be the immediate counter as well. But their brain isn't fully developed, and so are you saying that a woman is like a child? Yes.
So that guy, Doug Wilson, who we saw towards the end of that clip, Michelle, is who Pete Hegseth is having preached to our troops. Mm-hmm. We have a separation of church and state in this country. I don't know why a Christian nationalist is preaching to troops who are of all different religions or no religions at all, to be honest. But this is where we are today in the year of our Lord, not my Lord, 2026. And if I were a rank and file soldier or seaman or Marine or, somebody in the Air Force, and this guy showed up, I had to listen to him because the guy at the very, very tippy top is taking notes on who is responding well and who doesn't when it comes time for promotion. Mm-hmm. Like, this is the United States of America. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We don't have a national religion in this country.
Well, that's the thing. So Doug Wilson thinks that the United States of America should be a theocracy. He has said this out loud many, many, many times. And I just want to throw this up. This was from the Daily Beast. The Christian Nationalist pastor Doug Wilson has pushed for a return to patriarchal values, including scrapping women's right to vote. He told CNN in 2025, in that infamous interview, that females, it's always a red flag when they call us females, that females should focus on being mothers, noting, quote, "It doesn't take any talent to simply reproduce biologically." In a Politico profile last May, Wilson said that American society and government should be governed by a conservative take on biblical law, and he wanted to see America transform into a Christian republic. And this is the official social media account from the Defense Department, not the DOW, the Defense Department Rapid Response. It is a picture, if you're listening and not watching. Hegseth has his hand on Doug Wilson's shoulder. They're standing at a podium praying. It's ridiculous. It says, "We have gathered at the Pentagon for our monthly worship service. We are one nation under God." And I'm going to be real with you. There was one word missing from that sentence that they will add soon. They say we are one nation under God. What they mean is we are one nation under one God.
Under their God.
Correct.
And I want to also say this. Jen Roche, who now goes by Jen Hegseth, who's Pete Hegseth's wife, who I knew back when she was Jen Roche, married to somebody else, as was Pete. She was his boss. Jen Roche was the executive producer of Fox and Friends, the flagship morning show of the Fox News network and Fox News Channel. And this is not a shrinking violet. This is not a woman who stayed home and raised her babies. This is a woman who clawed and backstabbed her way to one of the most prominent roles at that network. So I don't know who the hell they're talking about when they say that Pete Hegseth wants women to stay home and raise their babies, because Jen Roche is not staying home. Maybe she's not a Fox anymore, but believe you me, she is not staying home and raising the kids. She is working and running the Pentagon because she's 20 times smarter than that dolt of a man to whom she is married. So I don't know who they're taking the franchise away from or who they think needs to stay home, but it's typical so often of this cohort that is all about one rule for thee and another rule for me.
Yep.
Because I guarantee you that they're not talking about Pete Hegseth's wife.
Well, they're not yet. I mean, that's the other part of this. And yes, I know that The Handmaid's Tale is technically fiction, but Margaret Atwood based that book on things that were happening and have happened around the world. And in that story, you know, the female lead, Serena Joy Waterford, comes up with this idea of this patriarchal theocracy in the former United States, now called Gilead. And she doesn't think that it's going to be what she thinks it is, where you have your fingers chopped off for reading a book. But guess what? When all these men get into power, they're not going to give you a seat at the table.
Yep.
Are you high? You are a means to an end. They will use you like they're using every other woman in their cohort and misogynistic movement. This is the American Taliban, guys. That's what this is. The American Taliban. For all this screaming and hollering about Sharia law, we should be more concerned with this law, with this fake Christian MAGA law bullshit. I want to put up more of this article here. It says it claims Wilson and his CREC has been adopted by the new right of the GOP, who aligned with his hardline conservative views on abortion and same-sex marriage. Hegseth is a member of a church affiliated with Wilson's Communion of Reformed Evangelical Churches, CREC, and the pastor is now opening a branch in Washington, D.C. So he has been elevated by Pete Hegseth and this White House to have more direct power on policy and influence in Washington, D.C. than he has ever had before. So he built his evangelical church in Moscow, Idaho, and now has a 150 strong network, as well as running a Christian publishing company and a Christian school and college. He spoke at the Pentagon on Tuesday, which is what we're talking about here yesterday, with the Pentagon's Twitter account sharing photos.
And understand something. Pete Hegseth moved to Tennessee, ostensibly, so he could run there because he's from Minnesota. He tried running statewide in Minnesota. That was never going to be anything he was going to succeed at. So, now he moved to Tennessee, and he's probably going to get the field cleared for him for a Senate seat, and he's going to be in the Senate or governor.
Jesus Christ.
Soon. And that is how these Christian nationalists get into the top levers of government. A drunk who happened to be a good-looking guy 10 years ago and was put on TV by Suzanne Scott, the head of Fox News.
Yeah, and he was like the weekend guy too, and beyond that, like, who cares, right, about that? But he is so dangerous and unhinged, and every woman who has been on the receiving end of abuse from a man with an out-of-control alcohol or addiction issues sees and looks into his eyes when he's yelling at cameras and sees something that is very familiar to them. Because that is who Pete Hegseth is. He is an out-of-control, unhinged alcoholic. He's an addict, and he's a misogynist, and he's an extremist. And again, he is one of these people that Donald Trump has collected. He collects people who would otherwise never be in these roles because they don't have the temperament, they don't have the experience, they don't have the character or the resume, like nothing.
They're also deeply blackmailable.
Yes. Well, right. Then there's that, which is what we all know, at least we can assume, people have been able to control Donald Trump in that same way. I want to just play one clip here from the service itself. This is of Doug Wilson yesterday, which was February 17th on Tuesday.
That pastor you just heard is Christ Church senior pastor Doug Wilson. He presided yesterday over a prayer service at the Pentagon, a voluntary event implemented last summer by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Hegseth himself is a follower of Wilson's and praised him for the service yesterday. The Department of War's Rapid Response account posted an image of them together with the caption, "We are one nation under God." Well, Pastor Wilson leads a growing network of conservative Christian churches and preaches a strict biblical interpretation of various issues. His followers are taught to follow specific gender roles where wives submit to their husbands and make being a mother and homemaker their primary role, while the husband acts as the head of the household and makes the executive decisions for the family.
Over my dead body.
Yeah, and let me just say this before we go, because you got to go.
Yeah.
I like Pamela Brown a lot.
Mm-hmm.
CNN,
she's the one who interviewed him last year. Yeah.
And why are you referring to it as the Department of War? It's not the Department of War. That name has not been legally changed. It is the Department of Defense. Because when you call something by its name, you manifest it. And if you want to manifest more CNN, you will continue down this road of calling it the Department of War.
Right. It's more Overton window, right? It's just moving things to normalize, this extremist behavior. And we are not even halfway through this administration. God knows what is coming next. And this is where I'm begging people to please wake up and listen to what is happening. Watch and believe your eyes, believe your ears. This is happening. They want to undo the 19th Amendment. They want to listen, they've already taken away our right to choose what we do with our bodies in 13 states with 7 additional states with very strong and bad restrictions. There's not very many states anymore where you have unrestricted choice to your own body. Women are dying. Women are being locked up. It's criminalized to have a miscarriage in a lot of states, not countries, states. And that doesn't even touch upon pay inequity, our lack of maternity leave, our maternal death rate in this country is far beyond any other developed nation. We are an afterthought, despite the fact that we make up more than half of the population of this country. And we need to start acting like it. We have the power here. And I need more white women, especially, to wake up, because before we know it, it will be too late. And as we know what happened in Germany in the 30s, one of the first groups of people they went after was women. Yes, it was Jews, but it was, how do they break down these open societies? They do it with taking the rights of freedom and expression away from women and our autonomy and ability to make lives for ourselves. So, you know, this is infuriating. It's scary, but like, we can't let it paralyze us. We have to continue to fight back against these people. There are more of us. And, you know, full disclosure, I am an atheist. I don't believe in any of this shit, but I'm like very tolerant for people and their beliefs until we start hurting other people. Then I'm out. You no longer get my tolerance. No more. Happy Ash Wednesday.
You guys, see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.